Accessibility and course content. What do I need to know? Well, just as badly designed physical spaces can exclude people from accessing them, so too can badly designed digital spaces and any other content that we expect our learners to read. Learners with print disabilities are particularly affected. For example, students with low vision, blindness, or colour blindness, those with physical disabilities that affect their manual dexterity, learners with cognitive disabilities such as dyslexia or ADHD, which can affect reading ability or concentration, and those with literacy difficulties, for example, students who are hearing impaired may not have English as a first language. The Disability Discrimination Act actually makes it illegal for us to discriminate against students by creating courses that have content that will either exclude the person from participation or subject the person to any other detriment. But we shouldn't just care about accessibility because the law tells us to. We should do it because we care about our students. This video will cover 10 principles that you can use to create content that's accessible to all your students. Ready? Principle 1. Use plain English. Look at these two instructions basically saying the same thing. The first one is great because it's simple, direct, and easy to understand. The second one is overcomplicated, avoids personal pronouns, and overuses the passive tense. This can cause problems for those with literacy difficulties, for example, students who are hearing impaired and whose first language is not English. Principle 2. Use descriptive and concise hyperlinks. It's useful to know how those with vision and cognitive impairments actually use their screen readers. That is, software which converts what's on the screen into speech or braille. Okay, so one thing screen reader users do is they have all links on a page ordered and read out alphabetically. Or another thing is they may navigate through the links on a page, skipping all the content in between. This is why it's important for links to make sense on their own without the help of surrounding text. So, if we look at these links to the same reading list page, the first one, reading lists, is good because it clearly describes where that link will take you. The second one, click here, is not so helpful because it doesn't tell us what action that link will perform. The third link, this link will take you to the reading list page, provides context, which is good, but if you've ordered all the links on your page alphabetically and you're specifically searching for the reading list link, well, it might not be so easy to find what you're looking for. And the final one is unhelpful because screen readers read out URLs character by character, which can get pretty tiresome to listen to. Principle 3. Avoid excessive text formatting. The sentence at the top is easy to read because it's been formatted using only bold. The second one, however, has bold, italics, and underline formatting, which makes it much more difficult for those with low vision, literacy difficulties, and dyslexia to read. Principle 4. Avoid serif fonts in body text. The first paragraph, which uses a simple sans serif font, is easy to read. The serif font on the second paragraph makes the text much more difficult to read. In fact, any kind of decorative font should be avoided in body text. Again, this is to help those who have low vision, literacy difficulties, and dyslexia. Principle 5. Don't justify text. The paragraph at the top has been left aligned and should therefore make for quite an easy read. The one below has been justified, which creates uneven gaps between the words and consequently the effect of rivers running through the text, causing difficulties, particularly for students with dyslexia. Principle 6. Don't rely on colour alone to convey meaning. Look at these two timetable announcements. The first one is great because it uses an icon as well as the colour blue to distinguish the important information. The second one uses colour alone to highlight this information, which is unhelpful for students with colour blindness. This principle is particularly important when it comes to graphs, so think about using labels or patterns instead of just colour in order to convey meaning. Principle 7. Ensure sufficient colour contrast. The example at the top provides enough contrast between the background and the text and icons in the foreground, making it easier for everyone to read. The example on the bottom doesn't provide sufficient contrast, making it particularly difficult for those with low vision. Principle 8. Add alt text to images. If an image is not simply decorative, you should provide alt text to ensure that students who are blind have access to the information contained within it. Make sure that alt text takes into account the purpose of the image. Barack Obama enjoying himself on the White House lawn with his pet dog Bo is likely a good description of the image we just saw. You should avoid vague descriptions or starting your descriptions with image of or picture of. Principle 9. Don't use text as image. This paragraph is okay because it's real text that can be selected, customized, and read by a screen reader. However, this is an image of the same text, which means it cannot be read by screen readers, making it difficult for your students who are blind or who have dyslexia or other screen reader users to access the information. Principle 10. Provide content in two formats. For example, if you have a video, it's not enough to just add closed captions to it. What if a student has both a vision and a hearing impairment? They'll need a transcript to put through their Braille reader. Providing your content in two formats ensures that as many people as possible are able to access the information. So there you have it, 10 principles for you to keep in mind next time you're designing and developing course content.